Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.
Woohoo! All right.
You're listening to Amber Lynn, rockin' sexy uncensored, only on LA Talk Radio.
Woohoo! All right. Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome back to another amazing episode of Rockin' Sexy Uncensored. We're coming at you live tonight from Los Angeles on LA Talk Radio. I'm your host, Amber Lynn, and it is my great pleasure to be here with you guys tonight. RNSU works overtime to bring our listeners celebrity guests and co-hosts from the music, movie, and cutting-edge world of entertainment, each more exciting. And folks, this week is absolutely no exception. We have yet another epic guest lined up right here in the studio tonight. Just to let you guys know, a little heads up, a little later in the show, our favorite former co-host and RNSU guest, Sons of Anarchy star Kristen Renton, is going to be joining us for a few minutes from the East Coast. She'll be coming in. She's been out there spending time with the family, working on some projects, and of course, her undying efforts at saving the world's animal population and protecting their rights. But now, tonight's special music guest is joining us live in the house, the lead singer of the iconic LA metal band Odin. Original pioneers, they practically owned the LA progressive metal scene back in the late 80s. And of course, you guys know we all love the 80s, right? We have lots of 80s fans, 80s music fans on Rockin' Sexy until they broke up in the late 80s. And of course, if I get any of this wrong, we will be talking about it on the show tonight. They appeared and are very well known for appearing in the film The Decline of Western Civilization, Part 2. We've talked about that film quite a few times with different acts here on the show. I like to say, before there was Axl Rose even, there was this guy right here, the lead singer, frontman of Odin and Lost Boys. Fans of Odin are going to be very excited that their still rabid fan base is in for a great surprise. He's back with a new titled heavy rock solo LP called Coming Home. Welcome to the show tonight, Randy O. Give him a hand.
Well, really, before I don't know if I was before Axl. I was before Axl Rose, but I really Shark Island. You remember Richard Black from Shark Island?
Right.
That's who we were ripping off.
Well, we like to do digs.
Well,
Right.
Yeah.
You know.
Axl's cool.
Yeah. Oh, really? Because I saw a lot of stuff on the internet that was like, and I guess a lot of people rip Axl. He's one of the acts we've never had on the show, and we're not here to talk about him. But we have had other acts, right?
Yeah,
Nancy.
we were both managed by Vicky Hamilton, so there's a little bit of something there.
Well, let's talk about that. You've got your new album out. Joining him live in the studio tonight, she's a 30-year veteran rock star publicist in the music industry, right? People like Rob Zombie, Marky Ramone, he's been a guest. Yes, Steve Vai, he's been on our show. They consider her more than just a publicist, and we have talked about this. They think of her as family. She is the founder of the Rock Against MS benefit concert and awards, now 7 seasons in the can, working on 2020. Welcome to the show. Nancy Sales in the house tonight, guys.
Yay.
How you doing, girl?
I'm good. And plus, Randy is my client.
Well, yeah.
That's right.
So I can't not be here. I have to make sure. I'm gonna have to make sure he's got all the points down, man.
Yeah.
And you know what? That's one of the things she does come and support almost all of the clients that come on the show, right?
Yes. I have to
It's
make
not
sure.
as if she's not so busy.
I have to make sure.
So
Got every
the first thing I want to say is, I think I mentioned it in the opening. This is Randy's first release, and is it released now?
It's going to be released. We're releasing it
September 11th.
Is the date.
And we'll also at the rainbow at the top of the rainbow, that room up there.
Right.
We're gonna have a listening party for the. It'll be a release party, listening party, and invitations and that will start going public soon. But we just locked
On
down
September 11th.
Yes.
Isn't that great? Everybody's gonna have something positive to do on September 11th.
Well, yeah, we'll be at the rainbow. But we'll honor all the people that passed and the firemen, the firefighters.
Yeah.
survivors?
The survivors.
Are you guys gonna play live or play the
I
song?
think we're just going to listen.
I
We're
think
just
I'm
gonna
gonna. There's a particular DJ I have in mind that most people know. I haven't asked him yet, so I'm not going to announce that. But to be a part of getting that all set up in the DJ booth that's up there, and then we can listen and he can talk about it, and you can have some of the band members with you, maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Some friends. A
Some
lot
friends.
of musicians will be there.
We
Maybe
have
we'll
so
play.
many gigs
And we
at
want-
the Rainbow.
I really don't
It's
even know
I
what it
grew.
is.
I think I grew up in the Rainbow on their pizza.
You think?
Right,
That's
most
my favorite.
right,
It
yeah.
is the best pizza.
We love them. I have my birthday party
Tony.
there every year. Yeah, Tony's not there anymore. But I don't
What
want to.
about Bill Gazzari?
We're going to talk about Bill Gazzari. I have plans. I have
I
plans
spent
for
a lot
this
of time with Bill
interview.
Gazzari at the
Let's-
Rainbow.
But I want to start right here. One of the
Okay.
things I noticed right off the top about Randy, this guy is so humble.
Oh,
Okay,
thank
you have had you've had such a ton of success in the 80s with Odin and stuff like that. You guys were the it band in LA. You had so much success, top albums, top singles coming out.
I was looking at a flyer someone sent me, I think from like 1984. And on the flyer it was Wasp. I used
Uh-huh.
to live with Chris Holmes. It was Great White. It was Rat when Rat released not their first EP. It wasn't Out of the Cellar, but anyways, and there's Odin, like on a Tuesday night. So that whole first wave that came through LA, I mean, we were part of that. Then you had like the second wave that came, Motley Crue, of course,
And that was
Doc,
like
and
that was like
the first wave, right?
right.
So we were there for that, and
Which was
then-
my era.
Well,
that was when I
yeah.
was in the Sunset Strip and all of that. So I'm like, you are like your band and your music is. I grew up alongside you. We grew up together
Yeah.
in the 80s when we always had. Can you just try to be a little bit closer to the mic?
Oh,
We're gonna
I'm-
go sing
okay.
it just a tiny bit, so
Oh.
that because people want to hear you.
Yeah.
They want to hear what you have to say. But in the 80s, which was, and everybody goes back to it constantly. There was no era like the 80s, and everything changed. You know, it kind of went from the 70s and the 80s hit, and we just kind of took over. And you guys were huge.
We were definitely selling. I mean, it took us a while to get as big as we were, but we were opening for Rat and Wasp and Dokken and played the Palladium and Perkins Palace and the Whiskeys and the Troubadours, and we built ourselves up from opening for all that first wave of bands that allowed us to open for them. So, yeah, we were pretty big.
So did you think that when you joined Odin? And you auditioned, they were already a band, right?
Well,
Were
so
they
the-
your first band?
Well, yeah, so I was actually working at Builders Emporium, and I was in a band.
I
was,
love these stories.
I was in a band called Mary Poppins with a bunch of high school friends, and my brother Patrick, who's passed, who was in Lost Boys with me, he goes, "Hey, he was at CT continuation school. He goes, there's this band called Odin, and they need a singer." And they were playing at like Pookie's Palace, or Pookie's, I think it was called, in Pasadena. And he goes, "Hey, come and check this out." So I go and I see him. And I go, "Pat, I gotta be in that band." They were kind of like Black Sabbath meets, Rush or something. It's
And they
kinda
didn't
perfect.
have a singer.
Well, they had this guy named Art Garza that was in the band, and so he became born again and wanted to go, find his way. So I auditioned for the band. I go down there, and they basically weren't calling me back. And so what I would do is I would have other people call them up and say, "Hey, is that spot still open?" "Oh yeah, we're still looking for a singer." So finally, maybe 2 or 3 weeks later, they go, "Bring your PA down here and let's see what happens." So I brought my PA down in Glendale, started singing, and that was it. I never left. So that's that.
And that's where it
Can
went
you hear
from
me?
there. Yeah, no, he's.
I tell
I'm
my
just-
son the same thing. You got to speak up. I can't hear you.
No, I can hear you clearly.
good.
Ronan, that's good, right? Okay.
Okay.
I think we're doing good now. And it's just because your fans want to hear you. So you did what, 4 albums with Odin? You guys released about 4 albums
Yeah.
together, and then the single Caution.
So we did Caution was first, and that was we actually had 5 people. There's a guy named Brad Parker that was in the band at that time. So we did that. We were probably 15, 16 years old. Then we got
You disbanded in the late 80s. You
Yeah.
guys broke up. And we had Sean Duncan on the.
Yeah, I brought
we've
Sean
had,
in.
One of my
right?
favorite
We had
drummers.
DC4 on.
incredible.
Right.
Jack's incredible.
Yeah.
They're very talented.
Absolutely. So you guys disbanded in the late 80s.
Yeah.
And how was the breakup? Was it just
Well,
like
what-
we're
what
all
was-
going to
I
go
was-
off and do other things?
Well, not really. I mean, we were supposed to go to Japan and play, and then Vicky Hamilton, who was managing Guns N' Roses and Faster Pussycat and Poison, she kind of discovered me. She goes, "You're a rock star," and she would just kind of, I don't want to, it was called brainwash, but it's like, you need to go do your own thing. It's not going to happen with them, it's just not going to happen. And I believed it. And she goes, "Let's go record some of your music. I have this producer, Bob Rock, and he's going to make a 3-song demo."
Uh-huh.
So basically, that's why I quit the band. I was just like, I've seen all these people make it. My cousin, who's the
That
bass
must
player
have been a
from
really
Warrant.
hard decision.
Well, it was because they were my brothers, but I was like,
I want to be a rock
make it.
star. I
Can you
want to make
cuss?
it. Yeah.
Oh, I can cuss.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's why it's called Uncensored.
Okay. I'm dropping
You can
F-bombs.
fucking
Well, no.
say all the fuck
Okay, good.
bombs you fucking
Right.
want.
They're waiting for you to do it.
So my cousin, I don't know if this is making sense. My cousin was the bass player of Warrant, and they would open for Odin. And I mean, Jerry tells me today, if it wasn't
Jerry
for
Dixon.
you,
This is Jerry
would,
Dixon.
I would have never.
Shout out to
yeah,
Jerry.
yeah.
Chair Bear.
Right.
Yeah, he said Warrant would have never, or I would have never done music. He actually took bass lessons from Aaron, which is the bass player from Odin. But anyway, so I'm seeing all these bands make it, and then when they made it, and they got signed to Columbia, I was just like, "What the fuck is going on?"
Well, what's this story about Axl Rose being in the front row of a lot of your shows, and you guys were like, he's watching us.
Well, so right.
Because I get that way. I'm
No.
like, they're stealing my shit.
Well,
I
I
know.
mean-
Look at, she's wearing my earrings. That's she's doing her hair like me.
Well, I mean, I said that a lot back in the day, but I
Uh-huh.
mean, he was definitely at Odin shows. Now, was he ripping me off? I don't know. I mean, maybe he was. Maybe he liked the band, but I mean, we were also managed by Vicky, and,
Right.
And I mean,
You guys grew up together, basically,
well, kind of.
right?
I mean, yeah. I mean, we were rubbing elbows. Like Steven Adler. I remember Steven just being outside of the front
Steven's
of the,
been on the show.
Well, yeah, and he'll tell you about me. Just skateboarding and he was total. He wasn't even a party or doing any drugs back then. He was kind of a surfer cat.
Right.
But that's
I
another story.
remember that.
Yeah, he was just
But relative to this thing with you, so you leave Odin and then you.
Yeah, so I left Odin. I made that demo. Oh yeah, I made the demo, and I got signed immediately to Atlantic Records,
And that was Lost Boys.
and that was Lost Boys.
Okay.
So then
Why only one album? Why
because
only
they dropped me. Well, basically what happened, we make the record. Making the record, we go in to listen to it with the A&R people. I show up to New York, they play it, and they go, "The music's incredible. It sounds incredible, but we don't like your vocals. You've changed your voice." And really, I did. I went from
They said that to you.
yeah. We want to bring the Winger brothers in, and we want them to do ghost vocals, and then you're gonna kind of copy their vibe,
Wow.
And I was like, "Fuck you." That's pretty much what I said. I said, "Fuck you." Also, what
And
happened?
this is your band, or you?
I'm the solo artist. Yeah, this is Lost Boys. But we made the record. I fly to New York. We were mixing the record in New York with Godfrey Diamond. Then they have their meetings, whatever, with their artists. I don't even know what the meetings are called. They call me in. We listen to the record together. And after we listened to it, they kind of told me that they didn't like my vocals. They liked the words, but they just didn't like the way my voice sounded, because I used to sing high and scream, like the Axl vibe or whatever, the Randy O vibe. And then I kind of went more of a bluesy, sitting by the seaside, that kind of a bluesy David Lee Roth vibe.
Right.
And they just didn't really want it, I don't think. And also there was a change. I mean, the metal was kind of, it was ending, so there
The
was
metal
all of, yeah, it
scene.
was just kind of, And what I really
I don't know if it ever ended in my book,
no,
but
it never
everybody
ends.
has their own idea about what is
But was
It
that
just
right.
was that coming
changed.
towards grunge
Yeah,
then?
And
well,
I
Nirvana,
yeah, I
Nirvana
think
and
that it was coming
Soundgarden,
into the grunge phase, and I think that that's one of the things is the music industry that piracy came in and killed everybody by the throat. But the bottom line is that people were scrambling to figure out what direction things were going to go for a whole several years there because they changed rapidly and they went from metal, rock and roll, metal, rock, metal, and then it hit grunge, which was a completely different vibe. And a lot of people were out of work at that
well,
point.
yeah.
So
Well, I mean, and another story is so Jason Flom, who is the vice president of Atlantic Records, he takes me. We're almost done with the record. He takes me to Santa Anita Racetrack, and he's supposed to be a recovering gamble guy, whatever that is,
Right.
from a gambler.
Gambler.
Yeah, gambler. So he takes me out there, and we're sitting there, and I love the horses. And he goes, "You see that 99-1 shot up on the board?" I go, "Yeah." Are you gonna bet that? He goes, "That's what you are." And I'm kind of going. He goes, "We're gonna go out to dinner that night to
well,
La
that's a very
Dome."
positive.
Well, no. So he says, so I'm kind of like going, whatever, and he's,
Jesus.
we're kind of going back and forth being guys, hey, fuck you, I don't like your pick. Oh, I like that, having fun. But he goes, when we go to dinner tonight, do not tell anybody that I was out here. And I'm like, oh, really?
Oh,
So
at
we're
the racetrack.
No,
'cause
yeah.
he's
So
a
we're
12
yeah.
okay.
So what did I
Anonymous.
Well, yeah. What I do at La Dome is I go, hey, what about those fucking races? And I could see him look at me, and I think that was the end of me, to tell you the truth. I mean, whether that is the truth, but I just felt like, oh, I fucked up. I should have never said nothing. And you could just feel the vibe at the table. And so, I mean, that probably was part of it as much as the changing of music.
Yeah, because
and
them
and-
alcoholic sober people can really, really stew a resentment.
Oh,
Okay,
definitely.
those fuckers will never get over it. There's
Yeah.
a whole program. There's several different 12-step programs
Well,
that are all based on this resentment shit
What-
that people are drinking and using and gambling and
Well-
fucking and all the shit that people do over that they have to spend the rest of their life in these programs. And you know what the bottom line is? Let me tell you.
Okay.
It wasn't about you. It was him.
Well,
it was
yeah.
about his shit, not
Yeah,
your
no, for
shit
sure.
at the end of the day. And that really sucks because the entertainment industry loses a great artist. And of course, we're sensitive. Artists are
I-
sensitive. Whether you're an actor, a musician, or whatever you are, you're sensitive, man. And you're trying to make it. And everybody's telling you and pulling you in these different directions. And then somebody comes up behind you and they like punch the air out of your stomach. And you're going, I just want to, and in the meantime, you got to put food on the table.
Well, yeah. I mean, realistically, 99-1 are pretty good odds if you look at. I mean, it's like 1% of people that will ever get. It's less than 1% of people that will ever get a record deal. So I mean, I was almost. If I was 99-1, that almost.
So
be
you
like a
quit.
favorite.
You went to.
Well,
you
know what?
went to.
Well,
You went to. You went to another industry, but you've done very well at it,
well,
right?
Almost 27 years as a Teamster for the most.
You
of
met the love of your
Well,
life.
my soulmate. I've been married for 30 years.
Been married for 30 years.
Yeah.
So
I
this
mean, that's
was your
really what
path.
happened, is
This
I-
is your path, you know.
Well, definitely. I wouldn't change anything. I don't have any.
Maybe it's the
regret.
universe is kind of showing you that, because this negative thing hits that, you're going to be okay no matter what you choose to do as a career.
Yeah.
Because, this is what life is really about is
But
family and love and support of your family and all of that. And now here you come back. And of course, his fans are going to undoubtedly be excited to know he's coming back. He's got this new album that he's been working on.
I'm pumped.
Tell him 20 years,
well,
20 years in the making.
I mean, the music has been burning inside of me for the last 25 years. And what will happen is like most artists, you'll get excited and you'll be creative and you'll want to do music or do art for a while. And then you kind of, you're up here and then you kind of go back down here.
It's
and
in your
kinda-
soul.
Well, yeah. So
Yeah.
it just keeps coming out. It keeps coming out. And probably like 10 years ago, are we okay?
Yeah, no,
probably
I'm
like
just-
10 years ago, I actually, I don't know if I'm going to take you for a little roller coaster ride. So I had my daughter at around 30 years old, and I said, I'm done with drugs. I'm going to be clean. I wasn't totally sober because I would drink maybe a few beers a month, but I felt like I was going down a good path. I wasn't
Right.
in a program. So I totally feel like I have it together. But like around 40, my wife said it was a midlife crisis, which I don't think. I'm like, I'm going to make a record. So I said I had all these songs. I start making the record. Well, what happens with that is I start
Either
getting
that
high.
or you're going,
Well, I start
oh,
getting fucked up. So I started off smoking weed again. And now I'm doing anything I can for like a year, and I'm home. And I'm not hurting anybody. But once again, I started it. I had all these songs that you hear now, and you'll hear, if you listen to the words, you hear there's a lot of pain. And I'm finding myself in a lot of those songs. And I also surrender, like Hold On is basically about me surrendering, and that's why there's so much emotion in it. Basically what I'm getting at,
we don't have that. We have, and I want to give the fans an opportunity to hear.
It's not on what I sent you.
Some of the
that
new.
was all his.
Well, we have the list, but we didn't download
hope you're
the list.
following me.
We picked out. Yeah, people are.
I
trust
hope
me.
so.
We
It's
picked
not.
out I'm Feeling Good. You had
Feeling Good.
mentioned that, and we also got Black and White. Is it Black and White?
Well, so Black and White, Dick, my cousin, said that should be the single. Then Nancy started listening, and she thought Feeling Good is the single. But
Which one do you want to play?
well,
for
I
your
mean, Feeling Good,
fans?
So Happy. I mean, I wish whatever one you want. I mean, Feeling Good's a pretty happy song.
Okay, so this is going to be the debut of his music, and it's all different, but it's all great. And set up this song for us. What is I'm Feeling Good about?
So I think it's just finding myself coming out of that fog of addiction again, and just I had started like basically my wife sat me in front of a mirror after that run and said, "This is not the man I married," and I'm looking at myself in the mirror and I just go, "Fuck." I'm like 170. I've done every drug you could do again.
And thank God you have a partner and a
Well,
best
yeah.
friend that's willing
Never
to do
gave
that
me
for
shit
you.
either. Just like, I love you. And I looked at her and I go, I'm fucking done. That's it. I'm done.
And
It's-
this is the song.
And that's kind of what it's about. It's about feeling good, having joy, no turning back. You'll hear the words. And that's kind of what it was about. I found myself again and I was happy. I was in my backyard laying in my hammock whistling that tune that you'll hear me whistle. Actually, my son whistles on it, but that's kind of what it is. It's a real simple kind of Tom Petty vibe.
Cool. Let's hear it.
Waking up this morning, gotta get out of bed, stumble down the stairs, and I go get my coffee. It's a lovely day. I feel the sun on my face, so I lay on my back. I feel the rays on my body. I've been feeling up. I've been feeling way too happy. No, I'm not looking back. I'm just gonna keep on dancing. Such a wonderful night. The moon is so bright. Feel the wind on my face. And I'm just whistling a song from my hammock. I've been feeling up. I've been feeling way too happy. No, I'm not looking back. I'm just gonna keep on dancing.
love the bass in that.
Good stuff.
You know who's playing bass in
I'm
that?
trying to figure out. It's not Tom Petty. It is Tom Petty.
It's Tom Petty-ish.
Well, Tommy
Ish.
Bolin a little bit.
A little bit, but who would have thought that the guy that was like wailing in that metal had this really brewing inside of him? And not only that, I love the music. I want to hear more of it, and I know
Cool.
the fans do too. So
There's
let's
some
talk
heavyweight
about
musicians in that.
who's in the
So Matt Bassinet, who's with Elton John, who Greg and Matt are brothers.
Uh-huh.
Everybody's heard of them. Toshi from the Jimmy Kimmel Show, Yangsley, I think.
Oh yeah.
So Toshi plays guitar on that. And then Will Hollis, the keyboardist from the Eagles, is the keys on that. And my favorite on the whole record is Roger Carter. And he's the one that really helped me make this dream come true. And without him, I wouldn't have those heavyweight musicians.
I love
And
Roger. I just saw him yesterday.
He literally made this all happen for me. You know, I met him probably 30 years ago through Jimmy Tavis, who was the bass player in Odin, who was.
How do you feel about this? Is what I want to know.
Well,
This is
I don't know what to think
first
about
time
it.
in this whole interview that I see him looking like he's feeling really good about what's going down.
Well,
you know,
I love what I did. I mean, I love that we live in a place where you can do shit like this. You know, it's amazing that we have the freedom to do stuff like this.
but the difference in the music,
Well,
the
yeah.
music that you're putting out now, it seems like this is what's happening for you today. And
It's
if you
who I
spent
am.
20 years, and this is what music is about. This is we give of ourselves and our hearts and put our souls, you know, out there. And this
Yeah.
is where the real success happens because you live your own dream. And that's what the fans pick up on. That's what I pick up on when I'm listening to music. You can tell if somebody's just selling a record. You know, there were so many bands in the 80s
Oh.
that all sounded the same.
Well, yeah.
It was awesome. But everybody was sounding like the same. To come out
Be-
with something like this is just completely different vibe. Right?
Yes, definitely. It's who I am. It's what I am, and that's why I feel good about it. In the '80s, though, I think everybody was trying to. We were just following each other. Like with Odin, for instance, if Odin would have just stayed true to what we were on that "Don't Take No for an Answer" and just go, we're gonna stay to what we are. I mean, we were friends with Metallica. Metallica was saying with it, just stay true to that. I don't know
I
if
love
I'd be
Metallica.
sitting here today. I'd probably be dead. But we started following.
I'd probably be dead if everybody was
we'd
following
see Rat,
Metallica.
or we'd see these bands. Oh, we better wear the spandex like that. Oh, we better cut our shirts like that. Oh, we better put makeup on now like that. Oh, we better write more commercials.
That's
And we
probably
just
why
got
the universe
so-
took you
Well,
out
yeah,
and gave you a partner that was
Yeah.
solid and a family and said, this is all the way this
No,
is going to work.
It's what I wanted.
How do we get this album? It's coming out September 11th. It is coming out on.
Downboy Records, and
Jerry just texted me.
Okay, there we
Right.
go.
I-
My cousin.
Jerry Dixon. Oh God.
Jerry
Okay,
Dixon
Who I
is
love.
the
This is
bassist
what-
from Warrant. That's his cousin.
This is what
He's awesome.
this is what Jerry Bear said. Mind you, I've been Warrant's publicist for like 100 years.
Jerry turned me on to Nancy too.
Well, he says all of them, all digital outlets, and I was like, iTunes, Spotify. He's like, yes, all of the usuals.
All of the.
That's his answer.
Is
right.
iTunes still in business?
How is your fans gonna hook
Okay,
up with
so
you
what-
today so that when this is available for them to get their hands on, they're gonna be right there ready to get it? Because you better get it out there quick in the
Well,
hands.
I don't know
Well,
how they
Sunday-
get it.
so
She
this
would
is
know. That's
what's-
why I got
Because
to
the
publicize.
pirates will
Talk-
be
yeah.
stealing it. Right?
Well, this is what's interesting is that when this show came up, this is normally I do it after a press release is released. But when you said, hey, and I said, hey, oh, let's bring them in now. So actually, everybody's getting to hear little pieces. Nobody gets to hear. The press release goes out Sunday night for a Monday launch. It will then tell you everywhere you'll be able to get it. It will be released on September 11th. So it'll be on every digital platform that there is. But I will announce specific ones to make sure, because Jerry telling me all of them, I'm not sure if I'm.
Are you gonna go out and play and tour, or are you gonna put now? Maybe not. Are you gonna put these players together? Are you guys planning on going out there?
I actually have a band that I play with. So Aaron, the bass player from Odin, plays with me. Hopefully he still will. I have the music professor from Fresno State, his name's Corey. He plays guitar.
Hold on one second.
Okay,
We got a call
okay.
coming in. Give me just a
All right.
second. It is time to switch things. We're gonna come back to this in just a minute, guys. Welcome to Rockin' Sexy Radio. You are live. Hello. Somebody coming in, they can't get through. What's going down? Hello, welcome to Rockin' Sexy Uncensored.
What's up, love? It's Kristen.
Oh, awesome. Guys, the lady that we were talking about earlier, this lady, former RNSU co-host, FX TV star, actress known for her iconic portrayal of the naughty girl porn star I'm a Tight on one of the most cult followed TV shows in history, Sons of Anarchy, a long stretch from her role as Morgan Hollingsworth on NBC soaps Days of Our Lives. Welcome to the show. Kristen Renton is here in the house. How are you doing, babe?
Oh, I'm good. How are you, honey? I miss you.
I miss you too. It's so good to have you on the show again. I needed to think of a reason. By the way, we'll talk about that later, but say hello. Randy O, the lead singer from Odin, is in the house with Nancy Sale here from the Rock Against MS Foundation.
Oh, trust me, I've been listening, and that was a killer single. I loved it. It was
I was thinking that I said, this sounds like music that Kristen would like.
I found him
Hi,
a picture
Kristen.
so he knows
Is-
who he's talking to.
Yeah. So he,
Oh, I love the show.
yeah. Well, Kristen.
Oh, thank you. Yay.
Yay.
All right, cool. No, I mean, when everybody was saying that it was very Tom Petty-ish, yes, but you have your own flavor, you have your own vibe, and I dig it. I love it, and
Cool.
I'm so excited that, you can do something for 20 years and then find another path. I'm kind of like coming to that crossroads myself. So I appreciate it and I enjoy it and I love it. And I'm so happy for you.
Thank
Very
you.
positive message, right? And speaking of a very positive message, are you still on the East Coast? Are you going back and forth? What's going on with you, girl?
Yeah, I'm still on the East Coast. I decided that I've spent 20 years in Cali, and my family's all been back on the East Coast in Florida. And I'm like, you know what? Life is too short. I've had a lot of loss recently, and I said, I just want to spend time with my family. So I'm deciding to do that, take some time, just enjoy being with my sister, my mom, my dad, my
And the
niece
baby,
nephew,
I
and
see the nephew with the little baby face, and I'm so
oh
jealous.
my God. They're
and-
ridiculous. They're just ridiculous. So I'm really enjoying doing that and kind of re-evaluating what is important in life and, just having a good time and enjoying life, which I think sometimes when you're in LA, you get caught up in the bullshit
Oh,
and you don't do.
Right, exactly. And let me ask you about this. Is this a new project I see on the horizon, Marriage Killer? Is it released yet or what's going on?
So Marriage Killer got released. Actually, it's on all the video on demand platforms. And then I actually am just about to do a new film in Savannah in October.
Savannah, Georgia.
Called The Crickets Dance.
Ooh.
Yes, Savannah, Georgia. Yes, which I'm very excited about. I think it's going to be a beautiful project. I'm so excited to be a part of it, and I will definitely keep you posted.
Oh, we'd love to hear more about it. Can you tell us who is going to be on the project with you, or is it something?
I don't know
Is
too
it
much
the
about who's gonna be
SOA?
a part of it right
For
now.
7 years, we couldn't talk about this SOA script because they would chop off our heads.
Yes.
We were always dancing around it on the
True.
show as co-hosts. And she, when she was on Sons of Anarchy, because they forbid you to talk
Oh,
about
yeah.
the script so people couldn't steal
Yeah.
it. And I see that because of the piracy. But can you tell us anything about it? Your character or anything like that?
Well, we're still in pre-production, so I'm not going to tell you too much because we don't start shooting until October. But I think it's going to be an amazing project. It's an adaptation from a book, and I think the book is beautiful. I think it's going to be really kind of eye-opening, especially now in this day and time. And I'm very excited to be a part of it. And as soon as I can kind of tell you a little bit more, I will, I promise.
Awesome. We will look forward to that. I did want to ask you very quickly. You made a movie last year. Well, you were here on the show. We were talking about it, about a woman in Brooklyn who was in a wheelchair. Was something like that? The story behind it? Has that been
Yes,
released?
ma'am.
Yeah.
It was called T11 Incomplete, and I play a paraplegic who had a spinal injury, so she was unable to use her legs anymore. And we shot it in New York and New Jersey last summer. We're still in post-production, so as soon as I have any kind of release date or anything, I will absolutely let you know. But it's definitely coming along, and I'm very proud of the project. Everybody that was a part of it had some sort of either disability or some sort of issue in which we were all kind of a group. We all kind of rallied together, and I was very blessed to be a part of it. And I think that it'll be a lovely film. And as soon as I have any more information, I'll let you know. I know we're like,
I bet it was
like this
difficult
secrecy
for
code.
you.
It's bullshit. I know, but
Right, but I bet it was
kinda have to
really
just go with it.
difficult to, to come into a movie and to be playing a paraplegic. I mean, that must have been a role that took a lot to prepare for.
Oh, I did. I worked with a woman who actually had the exact injury as my character. We worked together for about 4 months. I did my own research as well. And, I got a wheelchair. Me and the woman that I worked with, we did everything you could imagine. I wanted to be as authentic as it possibly could because I did not want to do a disservice to the handicapped community. And I even hate to use that word because they're so much more capable than people give them credit for. And so I definitely want to make sure that this movie does a service to not only that community, but everybody and to raise their awareness of what just human beings in general are capable of. We rise up. We survive. We're survivors.
We learn
so.
to we learn
Adapt.
to adjust. Speaking of which, Nancy is, has MS. She lives with MS. And so she goes out there
and I have lupus, and it's a daily struggle, and we tend to find ways to survive. And I applaud anyone who has to deal with anything that maybe they didn't exactly anticipate, but they now are dealing with.
Well, I have to applaud you just for everything you do. And now making a decision to go back home and spend time with your family is it's amazing. So anything else, babe?
What about the animals?
I don't know. World
The
peace,
animals.
let's go.
World peace, let's go. No, I just wanted to ask you, are you working on any projects with animals or any other announcements before we let you go?
I mean, yeah, I've got fosters I'm trying to find a home for.
Buster.
I'm
I
always
saw
doing things with
Buster. I
animals.
love Buster. I would take Buster in a minute if I had
I
ground
know.
space for him. He's amazing. There's a dog.
He
Anybody
is
who's
the
out there,
sweetest.
that's right. This is what, the Miami-Dade area. If you're in Miami, Tampa Bay, to any of our
Yeah.
listeners from Tampa, you can go to Kristen Renton's Facebook page, Kristen Renton. You can actually just Google Kristen Renton and find all of her social medias. And she's got some animals. There's one in particular. His name is Buster. They're looking for a home, and he's in perfect condition.
What type of dog is he?
He's a pit bull type, not a pit bull. He's a bulldog type of cross, right, honey?
So he's okay. So he was actually, my mom had gone to an estate sale and saw him at the estate sale, and his owner passed away at the airport. And the children who had put on the estate sale said if somebody doesn't rescue him in the next day while the estate sale was going on, that they would just put him to sleep. And so, of course, me being me and my mother being my mother, that we were not going to let that happen. So
no, please don't let that happen.
I rescued him, and we found a place for him, and he is the sweetest, kindest, most lovely. Apparently, he's a former police dog.
Good with kids. Former police dog.
Yep, great with kids. Been shot twice, so he has 2 bullet wounds.
Oh my God.
That makes him look a little sketchy.
That's
he
cool.
had some hanging masses
Some
that
people
I
will like
actually
it.
got taken
Hanging
off.
masses. Wait a minute. Go ahead.
Well, that's
No.
No, I have to take that
got
back because I'm like, he's in perfect condition. Now she's talking about hanging masses.
Oh, I'm
Girl.
sorry. Well, no, like other than
He sounds
everything
like my
that I just now
ex-husband.
talked about, he's perfect. No, he's amazing. I mean, all he wants to do is cuddle with you. All he wants to do
He's
is lay on the
beautiful.
couch with you.
Yes.
He's lovely and amazing and brilliant and so sweet, and he licks you and loves you. And I really hope that I can find the perfect home for him. Unfortunately, he's not good with other dogs, but he's great with kids, and he's great with you know, any human that comes into contact with him just falls madly in love with him. So I'm really trying to kind of find his perfect home, because unfortunately I don't have a set residence here, so I can't keep him. And I have a cat who, you know,
He's
she's
not good with
the love of
cats.
my
Right?
life.
And the
So
kid-
what am I going
right.
to do right now?
So
he's like, wow. No, it's not wow. It's
Yeah.
like,
well, I don't
tried that.
I don't know if Amber said I told you I also have 10 years running. It's Fur and Feather Animal Sanctuary, and it's a long story, but I'm happy to go on Facebook and wherever and help. We've got 103 plus thousand people that love us. It's a
Wow.
lot of people.
That's
It's
a lot of
worldwide, and we can put him up on our pages too. And
Please hook
That
up.
would be amazing.
Let's
Thank
hook you guys
so
up.
much.
Absolutely. And she does so much for animals, and she's a lot of cats.
Yeah, right now we're doing a lot of severe special needs cats because our mission is actually
Yes.
to build a 65-acre no-kill here in California, and then do it every 50 miles up and down the coast, all the way up to Canada, all the way down to Mexico. And then once that's accomplished, which is going to be, hopefully I'm alive, hopefully across the nation. But we don't really have anything good here, as you know, in California. So
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
I do.
it's poo-poo. And so that's the real mission, was to build, but then you start getting into rescue because you can't say no, you know, sucker here. And so we've saved more from pit bulls to chihuahuas to cats, and then we had to pull back and decided to say, okay, we've got all these severe special needs cats. This is more like a hospice at this current time. It's like 47, maybe, I don't know, I lost head count. And so what we're doing right now is going back to mission, because we're off point. But in the meantime, we, you know, it's so hard because people come to us because we're the only ones that take leukemia cats, which, you know, is an instant death for them because they don't have a long life. But we have a dedicated leukemia room. We take in cerebral palsy cats. We take in all sorts of chronic illnesses, cancer, the whole bit. We have one cat that we've spent over $13,000 on, and mind you, we get 50% off with our amazing, you know, veterinarians who are the top 6 in the state of California. But this cat had a lot of problems because the people, I mean, the neglect and the weirdness, and oh my God, I don't know what they were doing. He was 38 pounds of blubber, couldn't urinate, bleeding. It was awful. So that's what we've been doing is.
You know what?
God-
and
you know
once
what?
you get on this topic,
God bless you.
once you get on this topic of saving animals, it goes on. We need to do a show
I
on
could-
it. So when you get back
You and
into
I can
town,
talk for hours and hours
right?
and hours and hours and hours.
And we
for
have,
sure.
and we need to do an entire show on this. When you get back into town, or when you're coming into town,
Yes.
let me know. We're going to schedule. We need to get you back on the show live, and we will get Nancy on the show. And in the meantime, hook up social media. Hook up with each other.
Yes.
Okay, now you know who each other are, and let's get Buster housed. Let's get him. Let's find him a forever home. Everybody, check out Buster on Kristen Renton's page. She's got pictures of him all over. He's an amazing dog, and he's a police dog. He has been of service to his community, and he needs a home. So let's do that first. Kristen, I love you. We are
I love you
running
too.
short on time. I cannot wait to see you. Please come back.
I will, I promise.
Do all the things you need to do and pursue your dreams, but I can't wait to see you when you get home. Okay, baby girl?
And I'll
I
be
know.
bugging you.
I love you.
Have a wonderful...
Love you and miss you, and thank you so much.
Awesome. Bye, babe.
Bye.
One of the most amazing human beings you will ever know, and you two will be fast friends. So that's the first thing I want to say. Please hook up on social media. She's probably watching the show live, but I wanted to take our last few minutes and get back to Randy right now, because I know that a lot of the fans are here on the show and they're listening and they're going, okay, we got a new album coming out. What are we going to do around it? Are we going to have any kind of a music video? What are we doing?
So I actually finished a video already for Black and White,
Okay.
which I thought was going to be the first single. Right now we're shooting. My daughter Hannah's actually directing it. We're doing it as crazy as it
that's
sounds,
awesome.
all on iPhone.
His daughter is 25 years old. He mentioned her earlier in the show. So
Yeah.
she's talented.
Yeah,
and
the song, Hannah's song, is obviously about Hannah. That's on the record, so it's cool. But yeah, so we're in the process of shooting the video, feeling good. My daughter's directing it, and then my son and my wife and whoever is shooting everything on these iPhones. And it's amazing because Black and White I had shot with all the great cameras, and you think it looks so good. Then
When are you going to be releasing the
so
music,
well,
the video?
we'll go on the 16th, I guess, of August when the record's released. I mean, I don't know how they do all that now, but my cousin Jerry and Down Boys Records will release the video, and I guess it goes on
Everything's
YouTube.
So
slightly
here's what
as-
I'm going to do, guys.
I don't know
because
anything
we're
about
kind
it.
of we're right at the last minutes of time, and I want to get it all in, and we get so excited. I'm going to hit it right now. Set up Black and White.
Yeah,
We'll
crank
listen
it.
to a little
You'll love
bit,
it.
and then I'll bring us back right at the end so we can close the show. Let's hear it.
Black and white don't matter when you're living on the streets. Gotta learn to love your brother, never know what you may need. People in the gutter reaching out their hand. Little sister and her brother said never had a chance. Can't you see what they're doing to you and me? Don't you know that they're stealing away our dreams? Poverty-stricken family paying the price for life. Wind up in our city begging for a dime. Big Daddy Dollar living in his high-rise. Said won't give a dollar, just keep listening to his lies. Can't you see what they're doing to you and me? Don't you know that they're stealing away our dreams? Black and white, let it out. Black and white, let it out. Black and white don't matter when you're living on the streets. Gotta learn to love your brother, never know what you may need. Big Daddy Dollar living in his high-rise. Said won't give a dollar, just keep listening to his lies. Can't you see that they're lying to you and me? Don't you know that they're stealing away our dreams? Can't you see that they're lying to you and me? Don't you know that they're stealing away our dreams? Black and white, let it out. Black and white, let it out.
Did I hear a little tiny bit of Steven Tyler in there?
Probably.
I think I did.
Probably.
I love the song, Black and White. Where are we going to get it?
So I guess iTunes,
Spotify.
Spotify, all
September
all the
11th.
digital media.
It's coming out,
Yeah.
guys. Follow Randy O, and you can catch him on social media. I could find you, just not a lot of information about you, so that'll be the next thing.
I've
Yeah,
been hiding.
his Twitter is Randy Roberg.
He's been having kids and family.
He's been
Yeah.
doing
Right?
things. So yeah, Twitter is like at Randy Roberg, his real last name.
Yeah.
Or you can check in on his cousin and say, like, what's up with Randy?
Yeah.
Damn you,
Okay.
Jerry. And then what do you got at Instagram, which is official Randy O.
Yep.
And
Or you could go to Down Boys Music right now and you could listen to the record too.
And then on September 11th, just letting you guys know really quick, they have a listening party going on
Please
down
come.
there. I think the fans are it's going to be open to the public. It's going to be open to the fans. And also, I want to let you guys know that next Tuesday night, the Adult Performers Actors Guild August 6th at the Rainbow. We are having a mixer. I will be there. I haven't been to the Rainbow for a long time. I know you guys know that I like to go to the Rainbow. I have my birthday party there. I'll be at the Rainbow Tuesday night, August 6th from 6 to 9 p.m. If any of our fans are interested in coming down and saying hello to me, which, you know, that'll be really fun. There will be a lot of people there. I think it has something to do with the Camming Awards, but they won't have any cameras, I don't think. And we'll be hanging out at the Rainbow on Tuesday night. I want to thank you.
What's your favorite type of pizza at the Rainbow?
I have like a special pizza.
What is it?
It's the chicken and basil.
Oh.
Have you ever had
with
that?
olive oil?
I love it. But I'll tell you
it's
what I
the
love.
best.
What I love at the Rainbow, amazing, and I've had it for, I don't want to say how many years.
At least 30.
30 years,
Yeah.
right? So 30 years later, my favorite thing at the Rainbow is the chicken soup.
Really? I've
Yeah.
never had that.
I used to have it all the time when I'd go in there hungover, and like I'd be like, "Give me some chicken soup." Anyway, guys, I can't believe it. It happens every time we
So
have an
quick.
amazing guest on the show. I want to thank Randy O for coming in and doing the show tonight.
Thank you.
Nancy, always a pleasure to have you, and special thanks to Nancy Sale for bringing in Randy O and
Thank you, Nancy.
letting us know about the new record. When it
Welcome,
comes
welcome.
out and everything, we're going to have you back on the show
I would
again.
love that. I would love that.
Okay. Kristen Renton, we love you. Thank you for checking in with us tonight. By the way, guys, go out and check on social media and check out Buster. If you're looking for a dog, adopt, don't shop. Okay, guys,
Yeah.
that's the number one rule. I love you. I want to invite you to come back again next week for another amazing episode of Rockin' Sexy Uncensored.
Irreverent, entertaining, cool. You're listening to LA Talk Radio.